Hey guys, this is going to be part of a new series that I'm doing where I'm going through all of the solo modes on item level on my brand new Valk on my NA East Makoko account. So this is a Makoko returner account that I have played before for a different video and I haven't really played since. It doesn't have any of the additional power that my main account has. It doesn't have any of the additional cards or anything like that. So it'll be very representative of an on item level experience for all of these solo mode raids. And again, we are doing them on item level that they start with. So we're also going to be taking on additional challenges like no T skill, no awakening, and not using sidereals when we can avoid it. Some of them we will be forced to use, but for the most part, we are going to not use any sidereals and also no buffs in any of these solo modes either. So hopefully you guys will find this very representative of what you can accomplish at these item levels. If you guys are enjoying the series, leave a like down below, comment down below if you have any questions or anything. I'm always taking a look at the comments and reading what you guys have to say. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this or other MMO related content. And also I do stream every night on Twitch after 8 p.m. PST. So hope to see you guys over there and we'll jump right into the solo mode. Okay, so to start it all off, we are 14-15 here and we are going to be doing solo Valtan. So these videos are going to be pretty low edit. So this is what we're looking at in terms of enlightenment points. I don't have very much enlightenment points. Our accessories are not cut or anything like that. Evolution points, I just have everything in crit for now, obviously, and no leap points. So this is what we're at. Our cards, gems, engravings. I'm only going to be running 3 engravings and our stone does have a negative on it. You could run a 4th, but just because I know what I'm doing and also this class does seem a little bit strong at lower level, I'm going to purposely try and hinder my damage. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Now for reference, I also don't have access to my DPS awakening. I haven't actually done the quest. We'll probably change that, but I'm going to try not to use my awakenings anyway, just to be, extra representative here. I'm going to go ahead and use blue pots as well, and I believe that is going to be the only item we're going to take into this gate 1. So do keep in mind too, I am a Makoko, which means we do have this self-reliant buff. You guys should be able to see that pretty okay. Now, I don't actually know how well this class is going to play at this level. It does seem like we are suffering at least a little bit from not having enough generation, but we should be able to make it work, and our DPS might just be a little bit slower. So we're going to kill these mobs, and then we'll be able to get to the fight itself. It's just a side note too, in case you're wondering why I picked the engravings that I did, it's because this class can benefit from Hitmaster. There's no negative downside to this. It's also less direct damage in a lot of cases than other things. So if I chose something like Cursed Doll or something, I would have been able to get more damage from my awakening and etc. And bleed runes and stuff. And then this class does want to crit, and usually at this kind of low level, I think Precise Dagger is a pretty good option anyway, just because you don't have a lot of crit, and usually, you just don't have other things going for you. You don't have additional pieces of gear that give you crit. I could be running Adrenaline here. That would work as well. And actually, I probably should be running that instead of Hitmaster here. But again, I'm trying to be representative here, and yeah, so this is going to be kind of an incomplete build, and also I did manage to cut a stone that had Hitmaster, which is cool. So just a random stone that I got in my very first Chaos Dungeon. Okay, so this werewolf only really has one mechanic that we have to worry about, and it's basically at different points we will have to go to the middle and collect some orbs in a alternating color. You should be able to understand what I mean more when we get there. But for now, we're just gonna try and not get too caught up in taking too much damage here. He does teleport around, and keep in mind you are his only target at this point, so it is gonna be him focusing us very, very hard. And as a very slow, or not a slow class, but we don't have any inherent swiftness here. We just have our ability to buff a little bit, but we don't have any swiftness stats from our gear or our passive or anything. Hopefully you can kind of see though that like it's not too bad. You just kind of stay on the back, and so this is a world. This is like a thing where we have to dodge. It just alternates, so you can try and dodge the first one, spacebar if you need to, and then alternate after that. Okay, so I'm gonna try and buff up, and then we're gonna hit him with our big surge to push him. All right, I don't think we crit, unfortunately. All right, so he's doing the first mech, so we don't really have to do anything here. Just kind of stand away from him. He just does this thing where he like summons his other buddy. This fight actually has two different werewolves, so you usually want to back away from this. This is obviously the explosions on the ground, but I was just greeting there unnecessarily. Okay, we're getting close to being able to surge and try and push him again. Go ahead and surge. There we go. That was a good crit. Without your arc passive at this level at 14-15, your class doesn't really perform very well. If you haven't done this kind of content at this level, you kind of don't really realize probably how bad the classes are designed at this level. But you don't really have any of the stuff that you need from your engraving. A really good example would be I've done this for Shadowhunter. That was a counter, by the way. There we go. Go ahead and try and push him again. Okay, so he's gonna start following us, and we need to just basically try and run around here. Ideally, you're not fighting him on the edge. We're just trying to dodge that cyclone that he gets. Now we should be getting close to the spot where we can actually push him. I'm going to use a pot here. Watch out for those frontals. Basically, just kind of do like a hit and run tactic is what I usually do. So we'll use a couple of abilities here, and then make sure you dodge any ones that are clearly telegraphed for sure. Other stuff like that where he just like, goes and swipes in front of you, you probably won't be able to realistically dodge in a lot of cases. All right, run away again. And then we'll go ahead and counter. I don't think that's a guaranteed counter there, but it might be. Just try and keep your counter available. There is a lot of counters in this. So again, he's going to follow us. So just kind of run around in this open ring area where it's safe. Nice. This class does have more counter ability for sure than other classes. So that's something to keep in mind. Don't stress it if you can't get the counters. They're just kind of free DPS pieces, or like, moments of time. All right, so we are doing the mech now. So for here, we're just going to start here. You can start anywhere you want, and then you just go around and you gather all the orbs in either a clockwise or counterclockwise, way. Either one, it doesn't really matter. Okay, we just wasted our surge there. It did fill our gauge right there when it would transition to the other werewolf, so that's good to know. Go ahead and surge again. Oh, we missed the counter. Yeah, missing counters isn't really a big deal. There's not really any like very punishing patterns or anything. Sorry, for failing a counter, but it does mean that you do have a little bit of DPS loss, right? Because you can't just sit there and mindlessly attack him. Watch out for the mines on the ground again. Mines again while he's charging here. Safe spot, sorry. Get to the safe spot. Honestly, it has been quite a while for me since I've done these, so. You run away. This is the mines again. I'm gonna go ahead and pot here. Oh, there's a freeze. I forgot about the freeze. Hopefully that you're kind of noticing that, like, as long as you're paying attention to your health and kind of running around, if you do this hit and run strategy, you really won't be. Oh, there's a mine right there that just got placed. He just threw down. So just kind of run away from it. More mines on the ground. Oop. Okay, we staggered him so we can do a little more damage and try and push him. Watch out for these blades. Watch out for the explosion right there again. All right, so we are doing that mech again. Again, you can start in any like quadrant or whatever. Just make sure you grab the alternating color. So if you start with blue, you need to hit red next. If you start with red, you gotta hit blue next. So rotate whichever way you want. Run away from this. We're gonna wait for the explosion and then spacebar out to the outer ring here. And then just kind of hang out down here. Dodge those telegraphs. And then that's pretty much it. Now we just finish him off. Now it does combine both the blue and the red ones. So in case you didn't notice, one was ice that had freezing abilities and the other one didn't. So now you do have to worry about getting frozen and stuff. But for the most part, you don't have to worry about dying. This is pretty comfy right now. Another set of mines here. Also, I'm not using sidereals, so again, you'll be able to use that if you need more damage. Alternate here. You can use Thyrane, which is Control Z here, or any of them really. But Thyrane will give you the most damage out of the three. Balthor will give you a shield, and Wei will do the most stagger. So if you want to, you could use Wei after we grab the orbs to do the stagger if you're low on stagger. All right, we did get a counter here. Surge him. And we're clearly making mistakes here, but again, it's all about just kind of like, watching out for this. That's a safe zone. You can stand in it, or I run away from them. Watch out for the charges. Usually 3 charges. Maybe it's 2. I don't remember, to be honest. Run away from the landmines again. We're gonna go ahead and surge him. We are getting a little bit low, so we got to be careful and make sure we don't die here. This first boss, oh, we got frozen. Unfortunate. This first boss can definitely be a bit more challenging in terms of damage. And the reason for that, again, is that it's not balanced around not having your full arc passive, I don't think. So watch out for the explosions. We get that counter. We do have about a minute left here. And there we go. All right, so gate 1 complete. So now we're going to be going on to gate 2. I'm going to go ahead and collect these rewards. You don't necessarily need to collect these rewards, but if you are at this level and you are trying to craft your gear, you do need more of these pieces. So it's a good idea. I generally would if you have the gold to spare, but if you don't, obviously it's not that big of a deal. You can spend another week or whatever doing this boss fight. So, and realistically, if you are this level and you are progressing, unless you're doing something kind of like what I'm doing, you're probably going to be progressing a bit slower. So it's usually not a bad idea to collect gear when you can. So just more trash here. And then we're going to start working on a Valtan Gate 2. So Valtan Gate 2 does have a little bit more item requirements than Valtan Gate 1. Valtan Gate 1, you know, we basically just had our healing potion and that was good enough. But for Gate 2, I highly recommend that you also bring a destruction grenade. If you don't know what that's for, it's for doing destruction. And you'll see hopefully in a moment why that's important. So this is, destruction bomb. You can use it with a dark grenade or a whirlwind grenade if you're low on stagger. Any of those options would be good. Dark grenade will just give you more damage. And we'll go ahead and head on in. Okay, so to start off with, I think he personally, the ping for solo mode is a little bit off. I don't really like standing over here in the challenge. I like more of right here in this line, slightly below the ping, because that does make him hit the tower. So this is where we throw our destruction bomb when the boss has the icon above him, the target on him. Every time he runs into one of these pillars, he'll get that, and we can do a little bit of destruction. Notice how he has it right now, that circle on him. So now we've done the destruction, we've broken him. So if we make sure we grab these, we can then get more like buff for our sidereal meter. That's the real advantage of having him break these pillars. Okay, so for this, usually what people do is they just kind of run in a circle. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you head back to one of the spots you broke, because what you'll notice is that this has this safe ring out here. And we need to actually hide from, or I didn't quite hide. Anyway, you got to get closer to the wall. Get as close as you can. Don't try and greet it like I did. So we'll try and make him charge into more of the pillars and stuff again. We don't really need to anymore. We should have been up here, charging him into these pillars for more of these sidereal orbs. But we don't actually need it anymore. We have sidereals, we have Balthor up here, and we also picked up the orb. Now the orb will actually let us survive Valtan's big AoE attack anyway. But if you don't have an orb picked up, like if you're running this on extreme mode with a group, keep dodging things by the way. If you're running it on stream with a group, then you might not have an orb picked up, in which case you can use Balthor to kind of supplement having that little blue orb. Again, watch out. So we should charge him into stuff. Let's try charging him into this. There we go. And we'll do another set of destruction. If you do the destruction, it will actually remove some of his armor and make it so that way you can damage the boss some more. I probably need to do this because I'm purposely trying to be weaker than what you guys will end up being. So it'll be good for me to be able to do a little bit more damage. If you push him too fast and you don't get enough destruction off, you won't be able to remove those armor stacks. And that does mean that he will take less damage. So keep that in mind if you're having issues with the DPS check. Alright, so this is the mech that you need either a blue circle for, dodge this, or need to use Balthor for. We have the blue circle, so we're good to go. All right, so he's gonna charge us again. You actually can counter that, and I recommend it. So get ready to counter this one. Boom. And it's right after that line appears. But as you saw, it doesn't really matter even if you miss the first one. So we can do another counter. If you push him too fast, you might not have the option for that second counter. Just FYI. Oh, I forgot to buff. I'm still new to playing Valkyrie, so dodge this. Okay, so the way this works is he's gonna basically be targeting me for this jump here, and I want to try and explode one of these guys here, and then once that locks, go over here and hide behind another rock. That target will definitely lock though, and then you'll be able to move more freely. You can kind of just move back and forth until you can see it lock like that. That's a good mech to get used to at this level, because there's a lot of things in the future that will act similarly. Don't hit. This is a retaliation pattern. You actually want to hide behind him during this so you don't get knocked off in the later portions of the fight. Less important right now, but just something good to know. So you can kind of just keep DPSing him while dodging these patterns. You can try and counter that pattern. I've never really been good at it, so we did manage to stagger him, so we're gonna try and push him a little bit here. I think I am a little bit behind in terms of damage on this, so we kind of need to pump a little bit. If you do find that you are behind in damage, another option too is in that first gate, you'll notice we got some relic accessories. That will give you more points towards your arc passive, and you can dismantle them for, you know, being able to upgrade those even more to give you even more points. So I'm gonna go and use a pot here. I forgot the buff again. And counter. All right, so he is transitioning again. You see how this is red? That means it's gonna fall off. Go ahead and run away from it because he will knock you back when he runs back here with the towards the middle. And this is a stagger pattern, so we can throw our grenade here. Make sure you watch out for these patterns on the floor though, because they do potentially cause you to be knocked back. So that does kill you, and that would be a good opportunity to use Way, for example. That would do the stagger pattern for us there. I thought we could maybe do it by ourselves, but maybe we're a little low on stagger. Go ahead and try and push him here a little bit. Anywhere where you can kind of position yourself with your back to the part that hasn't broken is going to be a good time. And the reason for that is because if we do mess something up and he does knock us back like that, he doesn't throw us immediately off the platform there. And as you can see, we're definitely playing this far from perfect. All right, this is the retaliation. We'll go stand behind him so he doesn't hurt us. Go ahead and try and surge him, but then just miss horrifically. I'm gonna use another pot here. Out and then back in. That's another kind of pattern that is very popular in Lost Ark, so good to get used to. Go ahead and surge him. I did immune that one. All right, make sure we move. That thing underneath our feet was going to explode. So he's going to try and grab us here. A good way people always deal with this is they wait and they go to the edge here. And then you just kind of dodge him. And then dodge that explosion. And then get ready and then he'll do it again. that timing can be a little bit scary for sure. That's where having multiple counters is very, very handy. Again, we're doing the don't hit him. There we go. I hit him with a surge. Get out and then back in. Try and do a little more damage here. We are definitely struggling to meet the damage threshold right now, so I may have to, actually, I'm gonna have to just go ahead and do it anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and use Thyrane here. Just try and help us push the damage a little bit. I didn't actually hit the big part of Thyrane's damage there, unfortunately, so, but that just kind of is what it is. Out and then back in. Continuing to try and push him. He's going to break this other platform here. Get far away so he doesn't knock you off when he comes back. Dodge. Now, this is the most dangerous part of the entire fight, and actually, during Extreme Valtan, the most likely time to wipe, unfortunately. The reason why is on these smaller platforms here, it is a lot harder to fight him while not getting knocked off. So, go ahead and back out of that. We'll go ahead and hit him with a surge here and try and push him a little bit more. All right, so he is running away now. Get ready to dodge. Go down here. And then back to our original spot. And then as he's pounding, you can just run around the ring like this to be safe. If you do this in a group with other people, you will want to be careful. Make sure you stand behind one of these rocks so you don't take the yellow attack. And then spacebar to the safe spot. If you get him to this spot here, you will actually get more time. So be careful of those, and then be careful of the knockbacks. We actually are looking for those ghosts, and we want to counter them. That will help us deal with the boss here. So get ready to counter here. Nice. Watch out for that grab. We're on the lookout. Watch out again. And surge. At this point in time, he's really easy to deal with. Watch out, counter. Get ready for the counter again. Nice. We're good to go. Counter up here as well. Notice how he's getting a little more sporadic, and there's more counters happening too. This is a great time to use Thyrane as well, and you can't really miss. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him. Because the boss doesn't move, he just spins around. It's a really easy time to hit Thyrane. Don't get grabbed. If you do get grabbed, it is probably a wipe here, so you really want to be careful not to get hit by those grab abilities, and then we're good to go. So hopefully that's a pretty good representation of the kind of experience that you'll have going through a solo Valtan at pretty low level with low investment. And like I said, if you do find that you're struggling, what you can do is you can have these pieces of relic gear that you've gotten, and if you equip them and then actually go back in town and go to the accessory guy, you can potentially even upgrade them, but they'll give you more main stat. Look how it gives me more strength here, and potentially more enlightenment. which is that other arc passive point effect. Those things you're really just looking for more quality. Higher quality will give you more of the actual points. And so that's why we'll see, like, on my earring here, I get 3 alignment points on both of those, but both of my rings only give me 2. And so that's because they're lower quality. And so hopefully you want to find some of these blue quality items. And you can even get these from your chaos dungeons and stuff like that. It's not just from doing these raid activities. So, but yeah, that is a Valtan Gate 2 done and dusted. So thank you guys so much. We'll move on to the next fight.